So I didn't give my official prediction for the Miami Heat versus Denver Nuggets series. Like, this isn't, from the past to the future, trying to predict. Like, we've watched game one, the Heat absolutely got thumped by the Nuggets. So my prediction, though, has not changed on this series, and I'm going to get into it and talk about how, truthfully, this series, when, for example, last season, with how it wasn't Steph Curry versus Jason Tatum in last year's NBA Finals. It was the Splash Brothers and the young dynamic of the Celtics, and how can, the big three with Brown, Smart, and Tatum go up against, the Splash Brothers, and then the new addition of Jordan Poole, because Jordan Poole had a breakout season last year. There's a feeling of how this is kind of like when the Mavericks played the Heat, where it was Dirk versus LeBron, and in this case, it's Jimmy Butler against Jokic. And so, like, I haven't seen, personally, at least since probably the Bucks-Suns finals, where it's like, this is a complete team versus another complete team. Everybody had their stamp on getting to this point. And so my prediction is, honestly, unless there's a drastic, hey, he shows up and absolutely melts down because the pressure's too much for him, Nikola Jokic is going to average a triple-double in every single game, whether it's at home or on the road. Dude knows how to pass the ball. Dude knows how to get rebounds. He's a big man. And dude knows how to score. Like, he just finds ways. He's shifty. I am surprised with the Game 1 performance from Jimmy Butler, but I would say the same with him. And so instead of a, hey, this is going to be Jimmy versus Jokic, this series in the long run is going to turn into who else is going to step up. We know Nikola Jokic isn't going to be stopped, and he's going to have great games. And so then it turns into, how many times is Jamal Murray not going to show up? How many times is Bam Adebayo going to have an absolute breakout game? Is Strus going to come up big? Is he going to be clutch? Is, the bench of Denver, are they going to affect a game? And so that's what I think will ultimately be the key deciding factor. And it's everybody else on the team and how much they contribute to a win. Because yes, it is a team sport, and one guy doesn't just simply carry the whole team to get 4 wins, even with the Warriors last year. There was the pivotal game 5, I believe it was, where Andrew Wiggins, he showed up and he had a crucial help in trying to get a win. Strus, he might show up in game 4, and that's why the Heat win game 4. Jamal Murray might show up in game 2, and that's why they win game 2. So it's that kind of dynamic. Aaron Gordon, his defense might be able to shut down the Heat in game 5, and so they take a 3-2 series lead or something like that in that situation. So those kind of individual performances is what I think pushes this series over the edge. And so my prediction, I'll say, is I'm taking the Heat. Still going to ride with the Heat. Now, what kind of games they win and where they win, I have no clue. I can't say, okay, Heat in 6, Heat in 7. I'll just softly say Heat in 7, because I can see the Nuggets going up 2-0, but then I can also see the Heat bouncing back and evening the series, at 2 apiece after game 4. So then it becomes, well, game 5, 6, and 7 are the most important games, and that's when the series is actually going to start to get good. But these games still need to be played. So it is that thing where I can see it go 2-2, 1-1-1, where it's game 7 winner take all in Denver. I think the team that's able to sneak out a win on the road first, that might be a huge thing. So if Heat sneak out a win and get game 2 here, and then it's a 1-1 series, now we're talking, because that could potentially mean, hey, they can go sneak out a game 5 win. But then also in turn, Nuggets could sneak out game 3 or 4 in Miami. So there's a lot still to be desired. If Jimmy Butler does not show up, this series is over. The Nuggets are going to win their first NBA championship. Guarantee that. But if Jimmy Butler shows up and he has phenomenal performances like how he did in the closeout games versus the Bucks, and in the first few games against the Celtics, how he was in the Knicks series, and he can still have reliable help from his, teammates, not co-stars, his teammates, then this series will go the distance. So hopefully it does. But if not, dude, this series is going to be over really quick.